Who am I? Why am I here? When I'm done rolling up this booger, should I eat it or throw it out the window? Feels good.
So today I run out of the themes for these videos. What to do? It'll be a very short one, anyway. Good morning to you all. Good day. Good evening and good night, and farewell to some, meaning bye-bye, as they are leaving of this world. Yeah, that's the subject. We're talking about death today. Yeah, but I didn't say death of the physical body. I'm talking about the death of your ego. Oh, that's right, you don't have an ego, I'm sorry. So the ones who doesn't have an ego, they don't have to watch this one. Just skip it, like any others that you didn't like the subjects. That you've been actually provoked to actually watch it, but you cannot because the subject is very touchy. It talks selfishness, it talks greed, it talks self-discovery. But the ones without an ego, they know it all. They don't have to hear any other, wisdom or thoughts or approach. So, today's little story goes like this: death of your ego and how to cope with it. Okay, 3 questions to get you ready or ready. So, dedicated to all the egoless dudes. You understand when somebody says that they don't have an ego? They're absolutely ego-driven. They're completely ignorant dudes. I have a whole book written about this. Are you an ignorant dude? About 180 pages. Very nice little stories. Nobody had bought it from me, but anyway. So it seems everybody's with no ego. I have an ego. Of course. But I know what to do with it. I recognize it. I see the illnesses that this ego was bringing into my life, and I actually eradicate them. I just cleanse them of my energy. Not instantly. Some were kind of stuck with me for a long time, but I recognize them now. Let's do a little, let's say, litmus test. We'll test ourselves and we'll see, do we have an ego at all? Maybe just like, waste of time of yours that you are watching this, but anyway, try me. So, first, do you ever blame anybody else? Do you feel desperate sometimes? Do you have urge to be better than somebody else? Do you have your favorite soccer team? Do you have your favorite political leader? Do you have the leader who do you hate the most? Do you think that your nation is better or smarter than your neighboring nation? Are you a nationalist? Do you think that you have to have a big boobies to be able to attract anybody else? Do you have to put the makeup to be more beautiful for others or for yourself? Are you often late on your meetings or dates? Are you collecting tons of unnecessary clothing in your closet just for the sake of short excitement of buying it? Do you work for profit? Are you afraid when your bill comes in your house? Okay, I can go like this for hours. And this is just on this material level. I don't even touch it, let's call it deeper, into spirituality, into God, into science, into medications, into, let's say, healings. These are just surface aspects of your ego. Any of these questions, if this triggered you, that you did felt something is not right with me, because I get mad if somebody else wins, and I don't like hers at all, whatever, president, prime minister, political party leader. If somebody wins elections in your school, let's say where you're working, same crap. When you see that your neighbor has suddenly a brand new car, when you see when they removing people from their homes, and you start switching the channel. Ego dude. The worst kind of ego dude. Ignorant ego dude. Or dudes, whatever you want to call yourself. I easily get ashamed. So, just to describe you briefly, energetically, this means that you don't trust yourself whatsoever. And your ego will drive you into this frequency just by telling you, no, you cannot be dressed like this. You're not appropriate to be in this company because all these are whatever scientists, or they are famous, or they are more stupid than you. You cannot be there. So as soon as you start noticing this in you, you're judging. When you're noticing that you're judging, then you have some chance. You really have some chance when you're noticing that you do these things. Because ignorance is not a bliss, as they're saying. Ignorance is the worst undercover agent for ego.
You lose your grip, and then you slip into the masterpiece.
What ego do? It steals your
Had miles to drive.
humility. What ego do? It steals the energies from others.
You ditch it all.
What your heart, you, is doing is the giver of your loving energies to others. What ego do is works for profit. And your heart, you, it works for benefit of other. Ego is selfish, dude. And your heart, you, is absolutely generous.
And sometimes when
See how simple it is. There is an opposite side of ego. People are living in an environment where they're thinking that opposite of ego is ignorance. So if they're ignoring whatever is happening around them, they think they will survive. They think they will, be more healthier, or they'll be striving more. Absolutely not. Ignorance is now biting you for your ass. No more. No more, my friends. That of your ego just arrived. It'll transpire in very different situations, in very different frequencies. Your heart will become more and more open. You'll suddenly feel very ashamed what you are thinking. But you will know, because you heard these very wise videos, and you know what to do when you are ashamed. You know what you do when you get into discussion, into an argument, or into a fight. You'll know what to do. Ego would say, oh, I didn't have any other option. We have to attack this country because there are some, fake Muslim, ISIS, something. Terrorist, yes. So, what should be an opposite of ego to you? There is none. When ego is wiped out, suddenly an open space is there, which can be filled with something that you really like. Ego is like a slave runner for your fearful thoughts. It'll come to you with thousands of stupid excuses like, watch this. I'm afraid that I'll be afraid when I become afraid. So that's ego talking to himself completely. All day long they can do this. Just watch what you're saying. Watch what you're thinking. Watch when they're presenting you news. Ooh, ISIS become so powerful that we don't know really, does she wear a skirt or miniskirt?
You win a while, and then it's done. Your little winning streak.
So,
and summer now to deal with your
is that of your ego necessary?
defeat.
Absolutely.
You live your life as if it's real.
Do you have to care for this particular event? Is it going to make you a different person? Absolutely. Is it that of your ego, something that it will bring a beauty in the world? Absolutely. Yours and all the others. Is it that of your ego finally deciding who's going to live? Absolutely. So when you go back to the question, that of your ego and how to cope with this, that was a trick question. You have to cope with your ego? Death. Come on. You have to celebrate it. You have to be in joy. You have to be rejoicing yourself, jumping up and down like all day long. Because your ego is dead. And when your ego is dead,
I saw you this morning.
that you're not afraid of life anymore. You are not afraid of life.
Can't seem to loosen my grip.
John.
Can I ever repay you?
Well, the reward would be good. There is some damage to my car. It's a high-performance machine, so I had to fill it with premium.
And he saw that it was good.
If it be your will that I speak no more, and my voice be still as it was before, I will speak no more. I shall abide until I am spoken for. If it be your will, if it be your will, let a voice be true from this broken hill. I will sing to you.